The top stories, slow going as the crop finally starts. Competitors trade blows on the Oistins greasy pole. And what a smashing CARIFTA weekend for Barbados. Welcome to Nation News for Tuesday, April the 7th, 2015.
No matter where you are in the world, at home or abroad, Nation News keeps you connected with what's happening in Barbados through our website, video newscast, and online e-papers. So stay connected with Nation News. Your news, your time, your way.
It's been a typically slow first day of the long-delayed sugar harvest. From 10 o'clock on Tuesday morning, canes were being delivered to Port Vale factory from two transshipment points, Buckley in St. George and Carringtons in St. Philip. Farmers are expected to take their harvested canes to these two locations for the duration of the season. The crop is expected to produce a measly 12,000 tons of sugar. The Barbados Agricultural Society says it will be asking government to look into reports that cabbage imported for the school meals department has made its way onto the open market. BAS CEO James Paul told a news conference this is happening at a time when local cabbage farmers are struggling to get their produce sold.
At the same time, we have a situation where we are observing that there are considerable quantities of imported cabbage on the market. We cannot substantiate this, but it is alleged that some of this cabbage that is being sold on the local market was brought in for the purposes of the school meals department and by an importer. And what is happening is that there is a leakage of the cabbage that was brought in by that importer onto the local market. The consequence though really is this, that in a sense the normal duty that should be charged on that cabbage when it's imported is not being charged. And therefore, even from the point of view of government revenue, they are losing revenue, first of all, on imported produce that should be charged a duty. But secondly, and most important for the farming community, is the fact that they are being forced to compete with someone who has a direct, access to imported produce at a duty-free price, and that is certainly not the intention of any duty-free concession.
The controversy of the CXC internal school assessments was a key part of the address by Barbados Secondary Teachers Union President Mary Redmond at its annual general meeting. Her remarks were aimed not only at the usual target, the Minister of Education, but also the President of the National Parent-Teacher Association, Sean Gibbs. Ms. Redmond questioned what had caused Mr. Gibbs to change his position on the union's recommendation to its members not to mark the assessments. Initially, he said he was satisfied the teachers would do nothing to jeopardize students, but after meeting with the ministry, he called on teachers to maintain the status quo for this year in the interests of the children. Tempers flared on Monday night, forcing a premature end to one of the highlights of the Oistins Fish Festival. Organizers called off the greasy pole competition as fish flew, and they declared a tie. The fish scaling and boning competition was won by Sheena Williams, and Tyrone Dolphin Shuri was the fastest at skinning the dolphin. One of the criticisms of the Fish Festival was that it was becoming stale, and organizer Dan Carter has promised some new events next year.
I assure the public that we will take their concerns seriously and try to implement one or two events that will involve more the public. For instance, this evening was a good example of the fish cake eating competition. Next year we hope to have what is called a bear relay, a similar type activity. And see, perhaps also we may look at having a pageant or a parade. But we will objectively look at those things to see how best we can involve the public.
Prime Minister Frendel Stewart will join other CARICOM leaders in Jamaica on Thursday for a summit with President Obama on Caribbean-American relations. Mr. Stewart will then attend the 7th Summit of the Americas in Panama, at which Mr. Obama will also be present. It will be some time before the SV Roof can move cargo between Dominica and Barbados. The vessel, which was a fixture on Browns Beach for several years, made its maiden voyage to the shallow draft last December. The schooner was spotted in Carlisle Bay recently, but project manager for the Caribbean Sail Cargo Initiative, Ian Dash, said it was just there to ride out expected rough weather. He said some technical aspects were still being worked out and inter-island trips could begin in June. Up next is Hayden Gill with the weekly commentary.
In the midst of all the bad news that has been blanketing Barbados, we take time to congratulate the athletes who have represented the island at the various CARIFTA meets this Easter. Our sportsmen and women did us proud this weekend. On the track and St. Kitts, in the pool here in Barbados, and at the chess championships, there was a lot to cheer about. But we also have to face the reality that our sportsmen and women need more support than they are currently getting. Where is Barbados' long-term athlete development plan? What are we doing to get those athletes who want to be professionals from NAPSAT to the Olympic Games and World Championships? From school swimming to the FINA Championships, World Chess Masters or NBA players. The time for lip service has long passed.
In sport, it was quite a CARIFTA weekend for Barbadians in athletics, swimming and chess. For the second successive year, the coveted Oistins Seeley Trophy for the best performance at the CARIFTA Track and Field Games has been awarded to a Bajan. Mary Fraser won 3 gold medals in St. Kitts on debut, the 800, 1500 and 3000 meters, following Akila Jones's triple gold last year. Mario Burke also did the senior boys sprint double, the first Barbadian to do so since Obadele Thompson in 1994. The team won 7 gold, 4 silver and 5 bronze. In the pool at the Aquatic Centre here, Barbados captured 37 medals over the first 3 days of CARIFTA swimming. And the team has done so well that instead of the predicted 40 medals, coach Antonio Petrolanda now expects close to 50. Among those shining brightest are Daniel Titus, Ashley Weeks, and Nkosi Dunwoody, who have been swimming in gold. We'll have the final count in Wednesday's newscast. And we move to chess, where Barbados captured the CARIFTA title on Monday evening with 34 points, 8 ahead of Suriname. Barbados also had 3 age group champions in Orlando Husbands, Yi Ting Poon and Lee Sandyfoot. And finally, there are some stories which are a little hard to believe. This is one of them. A Chinese man who secretly had 17 girlfriends was exposed when all of them arrived at the same time to visit him in hospital. The man, identified by the surname Wan, was hospitalized on March the 24th with non-life-threatening injuries from a car accident, and doctors got in contact with a number of people they believed to be family members. However, the 17 people who turned up at the hospital were revealed to be Yuan's girlfriend, who were unaware of each other's existence until they all arrived at the hospital at the same time. One girlfriend said she'd spoken with several of the other women and discovered many of them had been regularly giving him money. She said one of the women had been supporting him financially for 9 years. 17 girlfriends? Some guys have all the luck. And that's Nation News for Tuesday. For more, log on to nationnews.com as well as YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. And remember to pick up your Midweek Nation on Wednesday or subscribe to our e-paper.